dun. Hey, it's nothing like being behind the scenes in the green room, and surprisingly, no one has green. Can you imagine that? 6 people, no one has green. Like, one day we're gonna really be in the green room. I promise you. But I'm gonna tell you, you're in for a treat. Yes, we're gonna be talking about how to be finally free. Imagine what that's like for you. Like, you're finally free of stress, finally free of the weight. You're finally free of going through the mental trauma. You're finally free from that job. You're finally just free to do what you want to do, walk in your purpose, and be in your passion. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, you have everyone here that's going to help you. So with that being said, I know there's a lot of boxes going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them a question, and they're going to answer it. And that'll give you the opportunity to know who are they, and more importantly, what are they up to. So we're going to start with the one and only Ketrice, and we're going to ask her the question, who are you, and what are you up to these days? Please share with us.
Hello, everyone. Hi to the audience. So glad you all tuned in. Thank you, Shay Brown, for this platform, for allowing us to come in and share with you on how to be finally free. My name is Ketrice Keys. I am from a little town in Mississippi called Tylertown. I reside right now in a little town in Mississippi called Bassfield. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I am a grandmother. I'm an author, a best-selling author at that. I am a retired registered nurse of 20 years. Yes, I fired my job June 30th of this year, and I am pursuing full-time entrepreneurship. I've launched 2 businesses and a podcast in all of about 8 months. So yeah, I have stepped out, launched out, and paved the way to becoming finally free. So in a nutshell, that's who Ketrice Keys is. Glad to be here and share with you all.
With all the stuff you just told us, all those wonderful things that you do, which is congratulations, by the way, folks might be wondering, what's the one characteristic, the one secret that allow you to keep going from one success to the next success to the next success? If you had to sum it up in less than 30 seconds or less, what would you say is one of the keys to your success?
Intestinal fortitude. That is what is the key to my success. You have to have grit, you have to have that tenacity, you have to have the drive to launch out and do the thing that God has purposed for you to do in this earth realm. And for me, that's intestinal fortitude.
I'm loving
that's
it.
Relentless, just jumping into it, not looking back, pursuing it, forgetting about fear, launching out, and just honing in on what your gifts are and having that fortitude and that drive to do it and not letting anything stop you. Intestinal fortitude.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's the secret. That's what it's all about. I can't wait to hear about your story. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask them about their story, about their message, and what they have to offer, by the way. Allison's over there smiling because she's had time to think about what she was going to say and how she's going to sum up who is Allison and what is she up to, made a few notes and everything. So, Allison, the audience wants to know, and for those that don't know who Allison is, don't worry. She'll start talking in a minute. You'll figure out in this circle who she is. Tell them, who are you? But more importantly, what are you up to these days?
Hello, and thank you so much for having me. So my name is Allison G. Daniels. I am a best-selling author. I have written over 31 books. I am a co-author now of 11 books, which Finally Free is my 11th book. I am a mother, a wife. I have 2 beautiful queens. I started my publishing company called AGD Publishing less than maybe a year ago, or it's been a year. I'm a visionary author, and I'm just, mainly making sure that I encourage, motivate, and teach others how to write their book and get started and tell their story.
The audience has to ask, one, what in the LL Cool J made you want to write 30 books and do all this stuff? So the question is, why so many books? I know you can't tell us all in the time you have, but take a minute if you can and tell us why so many books and why is it near and dear to your heart to make sure your story is told, more importantly, is put in print?
Well, I wanted to make sure that I left a legacy behind for my children. And at that time, I was writing a book every year. So that was something that I, set out to do, to make sure that, I stayed focused in on something instead of just being out, in the world doing things. I focused in on what I believed was my purpose. And then all of a sudden, now that I'm here, I realized that my purpose was to write and encourage others to write and tell their story.
To write and tell their story. How powerful is that? Thank you so much for sharing. I can't wait to hear more about your story and more about the lessons that we're going to learn. So now we'll go over to Carleeka, and she's down there smiling. She's getting ready, by the way. See, they've all had time to think about what they're going to say. Isn't that pretty cool? So they're like ready. Like they couldn't wait to be here with you right now. They're fired up. So take a moment, if you would, and tell them, who is Carleeka? Thanks for someone to help me out with that. And more importantly, what are you up to these days?
Well, hello, and thank you, Shay. So I am Carleeka Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that, and you're probably thinking, what? Yes, it's that long. You heard it, and I write it. But what am I up to? I'm up to Menopause and Mimosas. I was thrown into menopause 10 years ago. So if you all see me up here doing all of this, it's because I'm having a hot flash. If you can relate, you can go ahead and put that in the comments. Say, I relate to you, girl. Send some prayers out. So that's what I'm up to, out here bringing more awareness to menopause, because it's real. It is real. And outside of that, I'm out here sharing my story. I don't want you to be sick, stuck, and silent. And so get in the driver's seat and put the pedal to the metal and go.
Put the pedal to the metal and go. What has been one of your keys to success? You talk about telling the stories. You talk about putting the pedal to the metal and keep on going no matter what. What's been one of your keys to success?
Oh, keys to success would definitely be get started. So many people are not starting, and so you don't even know if you're gonna fail. You don't know if it's gonna go right. But if anything, have an epic attitude. That's what it's all about.
Epic attitude. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, LaShondra is over there smiling, and she's laughing and giggling. So she has the last word before we have Don make a few comments. Tell us, what are you up to, by the way, and who are you?
Okay, so I'm LaShondra, and I am a registered dietitian. I'm also a research dietitian. I'm new to this. This is my first chapter that I'm writing, so I'm just happy to be here with everyone to learn from Dawn, learn from the other ladies. So I'm just soaking it all in and see where I go from there. I'm a mother of two. I have a 17-year-old and a 25-year-old, and I just love hanging with them in my spare time, and that's about all I do right now.
But that's doing a lot. You're out there saving the world.
Inviting me.
Yeah, you're out there saving the world. You're making a difference. You're making sure folks can be healthy and live happy lives. What's one of the reasons you decided to get into that profession? And as you're doing that, we're welcome out there. Dory on Purpose, who's watching. Sharon Parker's out there, by the way, says, hello, lady. She's in the house. Sheila Farr says, let's get going. Let's get the party started. But tell them, if you can, for a moment, what's one of the reasons why you decided to go into the health field that you're in right now, to make sure that folks understand that it is about their health in order for them to live a happy life?
Well, this is actually my second career. I was in the Air Force. In the Air Force, I was working with airfield management, something totally different from what I'm working with now. And when I got out the Air Force, I actually went to culinary school. And while I was in culinary school, I did my internship at a hospital, and it was at the hospital that I decided that I wanted to be a registered dietitian and help people become healthier, like mix the two together, have healthy food, gourmet food, something that's healthy that doesn't taste bad.
Yeah.
And something that people would enjoy. So that's what led me to becoming a registered dietitian. But right now I actually work with communities doing research on how to become healthier, lowering their high blood pressure, looking at diabetes and things like that.
Well, thank you so much for serving. We appreciate that, number one. And then thanks for serving a second time, doing what you do best. Don, I know we got a show. We got to get going in a second. But if you'll take a minute or two and talk about why this title, Finally Free, and why folks should pay attention, because they're going to hear not stories, but they're going to hear the lessons that these ladies have learned that can help empower someone, help inspire someone, and help someone make a difference in their life and in their career. Why this title, Finally Free? What's up with that?
Well, Shay, thank you so much for having us tonight. First of all, this is just amazing. All of these ladies are amazing. There's 18 authors in total, and every single one of them have amazing stories, and not just stories, but like you said, lessons to be taught. The reason for the title is, in my life, I kind of went through life and did everything the way that I should do it, the way society said it should be. And it just wasn't right for me. I was doing everything right, but it wasn't right for me. And so when I decided finally to be true to myself and be honest with myself and understand what I truly wanted in my life, at the age of 45, I flipped my life upside down and started it over completely from like square one, started it over. And at that point, I realized I was finally free. So the name of my business is Finally Free LLC. I mean, everything about me is just finally free because I'm able to be who I want to be, who I really am, able to walk in my purpose.
Wow.
So that's the reasoning for the title, for sure.
Well, it's time for us to be finally free, and we're going to learn out how to do that, by the way. Dory's out there. Latanya Griggs is out there. Kelvin is out there. Barbara, I see you, is in the house. We've got a show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started in 5. I can't wait. This is my favorite part. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll be right back, kicking it off. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they say yeah, and they say yeah. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission really is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big, big, big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always like to share, I believe you have 3 visions, by the way. I believe first you have a vision for yourself, the way that you want to live, the home that you want to be in, the car that you want to drive down the road in, and it takes revenue, which means in order to get that, you've got to have revenue to purchase those resources. And then the second vision I believe you have is you have a vision for your loved ones. The ones you care the very, very most about. I have the pleasure of taking Mother, as I always say, who's 73 years old, to physical therapy, hanging out with her. And she's also learned how to order from Amazon. She's really good. How many of y'all know it takes a little bit of resources? My credit card, my account, right? Oh, I saw something. I don't know if I need it. I ordered it. I can always send it back. How many of y'all know it never goes back? But some of y'all, in all seriousness, you have children you want to send to a school of your choice. Some of you want to write a check for someone's health care insurance or for a cause you believe in so much. And it takes resources, which means you need some revenue. And then the third vision you have, this is the last one, but I think this is important. You have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And I don't want to impose my faith on you. You happen to be a believer. You don't happen to have to be one. But imagine you're Noah in the Bible. And right before Noah gets started, imagine this. You're Noah, right? God's giving you all the experience. That might be you. Giving you all the expertise. That might be you. And right before Noah gets started, imagine there's a knock at the door. And he's like, whoa, what's up? And they say, Noah, over here. There are no hammers in the house, dude. He says, no problem. There's no hammers in the house. I'll be fine. And there's another knock at the door. What's going on now? Over here, there are no nails either, by the way. No nails. Might as well let you know that now. No hammer, no nails. Rule number 1, never panic. Never panic. But then there's that third knock at the door. How many know it's always that third freaking knock? And they say, what's going on now? And they say, there's no people and there's no wood. Good luck on this mission. And maybe that's you right now. You've got the experience, you've got the expertise, and now it's time for you finally to be free. And this is your moment, this is your time. And so we're going to learn today from these authors on how you can finally be free. If that's you out there, look right below the video, and put finally free. Just put hashtag Finally free. Don't worry. We're gonna start off and we're gonna talk to Ketrice. We're gonna talk to Ketrice and we're gonna ask Ketrice. Did I get that right, ladies? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Give me a little encouragement. You know, my wife gives me a lot of encouragement, okay? I need a little encouragement. My self-esteem is involved here. But in all seriousness, we're going to ask her, what's the name of her chapter? So you listen in carefully. And then what's one of the lessons inside the chapter that we can walk away with? So let's all tune into it. And before we do that, if you haven't hit the share button yet, do me a favor. Even before we get started, they're going to give you some value. Hit the share button. You can hit the share button, hit the watch party button, and you can share this message into your Facebook group, share it onto your page. You can bless someone else right now. Go ahead and do that. I promise you, they're going to be finally free after hearing these messages. All right, Ketrice, tell us what's going on.
Okay, so the title of my chapter is Take Flight. Yes, take flight. And the reason why I named it Take Flight is because what started me on my journey to being finally free is I faced the biggest fear in my life. If someone had asked me 2 years ago, what's the thing that scares you the most? I would have had to say getting on an airplane. But can I tell you today that that is no longer a fear of mine because I conquered that fear? I took that flight. So after I took that flight, I said to myself, and I was like, girl, and I said, myself saying, what, girl? Do you realize that you took an airplane flight? Do you realize that you faced the biggest fear of your life? And I said, yeah, I did do that, didn't I? And then myself said, so there's nothing else out there that is as big as that fear that you had. So what that means is there's nothing that I cannot do. So that started me on my course to being finally free. So after I look back over my life and I see that I conquered that fear, then I just kicked all the doors down. And I said, there's nothing else that's going to hold me back. At the same time, I was getting disenchanted with my then 18-year career as a registered nurse. Because when I started out nursing 20 years ago, it looks nothing like it looks now. So I was becoming disenchanted with it. I was not able to nurse my patients the way I wanted to anymore. And I kept asking God, what is it? What else can I do? Can you please enlarge my territory? Can you show me something else to do? Mm-hmm. And he just kept putting it into me. You know, you're gonna have to walk away from that career. And I was like, what? You're gonna have to walk away from that career. Can I tell y'all I fired my job June 30th of this year? I walked away from a 20-year nursing career, registered nurse, and I am now pursuing full-time entrepreneurship. I launched Ketrice Keys Enterprises in November of 2019 after attending the Success Conference and meeting Dawn. She got me started and I wrote my story. I organized that company, which is Ketrice Keys Enterprises, and it incorporates motivational speaking. It incorporates evangelism. It incorporates my certified life coach business. I've done all of this in a matter of, like I said before, like 8 months. I've just thrown myself into full-time entrepreneurship. So after I took that flight to becoming finally free, there's nothing else that I cannot physically do. Because I conquered that fear. So what I have to say about that is face whatever that fear is. I don't care what it is. It's just face it head on, conquer that fear, and there's nothing else that you can't do. I not only launched Ketrice Keys Enterprises, y'all, I also launched K Majestic Couture online clothing boutique. Not only did I do that, I also started a podcast called Spitting Fire with Ketrice. I'm telling you, once you face the ultimate fear, once you get over that thing, you are unstoppable. So take flight. That's the name of my chapter, Take Flight. I conquered the biggest thing, the biggest fear that I had. And hey, I'm flying. I'm finally free.
I love it. When you say flying, you're finally free. Congratulations. What was one of the affirmations that you told yourself in order to be able to conquer this fear? I mean, maybe you just woke up one day and said, I'm going to conquer it and do it. And you're probably in the top 1% of folks who can do that. So what is something that you told yourself in order for you to press through the fear and do it anyway? And as you tell us that, don't worry. Your colleagues over there are smiling. I'm going to go over to Alice and ask her how she conquers fear as well in a moment. But first, if you would, Ketrice, tell us, how do you conquer fear and what affirmations do you tell yourself?
I tell myself that, sister, you're going to fly either way you go. So you're going to fly with faith because faith lifts you, or you're going to fly with fear because fear lowers you. Either way, you're flying. But I chose to fly high. I chose for faith to lift me instead of flying low and allowing fear to lower me. So you face your fears head on. And many times what you have to realize is that fear is not yours anyway. It's the enemy's fear that he personifies and he puts it onto you. It doesn't belong to you. So what I say to people is, the affirmation that I give myself is, fear is a liar. Relinquish the ownership of fear. It does not belong to you. So once you relinquish that fear, and every time he tries to bring it back up, you say, no, I relinquish that thing. Look, whatever that fear is you conquered, look, I got on that flight, or look, I jumped out of the plane, or look, I went skydiving, or I went parasailing, and there's nothing else that I cannot do. Keeping God first. So you're either going to fly high, let faith lift you, or you're going to fly low and let fear lower you. And those are the affirmations that I tell myself. That fear is not mine. I relinquish the fear, and I refuse to let anything or anybody bring it back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. For those folks that are out there right now, like Regina says, I love it, by the way. Gloria Hudson is out there watching right now. Robin Kernley is watching right now. Fear is not yours, Latanya says. Allison, as you're listening over there, tell me what's kind of going through your mind. What's something that you tell yourself, an affirmation that you may use to push through fear? And don't worry, as Carleeka is over there smiling and laughing, we're going to ask her as well what's a quote or an affirmation that she tells herself to push through the fear. And then we're going to go back over to Ketrice, and we're going to ask her another question. Don't worry, we haven't forgot our chapter. We haven't forgotten that. All right, tell us, Allison, what's one of your affirmations?
Okay, so one of my affirmations, and I do this every morning, I'm always telling myself, I can, I will, and I shall. So no matter what it is, I'm always speaking life-changing words to myself. And I make sure that I encourage myself before I walk out the door. So I can, I shall, and I will. And I'll empower myself each and every day, every step that I take.
I can, I will, I shall. Someone write that right below the video. I can, I shall, I will. Let's put that right below the video. I can, I will, I shall. Okay, Carleeka, you're over there smiling, and so we're wondering as well, what's an affirmation that you tell yourself in order to push through, in order to keep going?
Okay, so y'all, this is real simple. I say these two words, epic, and I say it every single day. And you're probably thinking, because like Shay said, I'm a believer too. So you're probably thinking, what? She said she a believer and she's talking about epic, but it doesn't mean that epic. It means three things. One, faith it. So I love what Ketrice said, take your faith. And so elevate your faith, ignite your faith. And then two, face it. Face your challenges head on. We need to deal and we need to heal. And then the third thing is fulfill it. Are you going to be committed in fulfilling your purpose? So when self-doubt and all these different self-limiting beliefs come up in your head, that's what I say to myself every day. As soon as my feet hit the floor, after I gave God some praise, okay, let me throw that in there.
Yes.
I just say epic. So when self-doubt or anything, I say epic. Girl, you got this. So anyone out there, guess what? Epic, you got this.
Epic, you got this. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're out there writing, by the way. They're looking right below the video. Like, yes, this is so cool. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. And we see you out there. Karen Bergen is out there watching, by the way. Robin says, yes, keep going. Now, the next question I have, Ketrice, if I can, I'm working hard on that, Ketrice, is what do you... I'm doing it. I got this thing, Shorty. I got it. They may be wondering, for the person that's out there that's very busy, and I'll give you an example. We had a call a couple months ago on the show, and the lady called in and said, hey, look, I've got a lot going on now, and I'm now working from home full-time. I'm a full-time wife. I'm a full-time mom. I'm a full-time school teacher because she has two kids that are in elementary school. One's in junior high. I'm a full-time school administrator because I got to turn in their homework, by the way. I'm also a full-time cook, by the way. I've cooked more than I've ever cooked, and I'm also trying to get my business off the ground. And so I'm like an overwhelm. Now, I know that's a loaded question, but you write this chapter about conquering and moving forward. and I don't want to just say as a woman, it could be a guy that's overwhelmed and got a lot going on. So I do recognize that. What do you say to the person out there that's like, wow, I want to conquer my fear and I want to go, but I got so much. How do I like find balance? How do I find priorities? And how do I just bring it all together with so much pressure in my life right now? A loaded question, but you can handle it. What would you say to that person that's watching right now and is wondering, yeah, Shay, great question. What are her thoughts?
The first thing I would tell that person, and that person is me, is to breathe. Take a breath. Just stop and breathe. Then you have to prioritize. You have to set your priorities. I mean, you just described me, Shay. You just described me. So then I have to set my schedule. I have to, I used to sleep late. I can't do that anymore. So when my family is sleeping, after I've taken care of all of their needs, I'm up. I have to sacrifice that time. So it's like when they're like I said, when they're asleep, I'm up. I'm working. And then when they're up, I'm doing what I have to do for them. You have to prioritize. You have to breathe. You have to stop. You have to see and say to yourself, what's the most important thing? And you break it up in chunks and you do those most important things. Sometimes that means that you cannot be the friend that you used to be to the people you used to hang with. Sometimes that means that you have to cut people off. So you have to figure out what's the most important things. And once you get that lined up, then you follow that pattern, you follow that schedule, you don't veer from it, and you'll find yourself, you'll find your load getting lightened. And then let me tell you something else I had to learn how to do. I got 2 teenagers in the house. I had to learn how to delegate.
Yes.
I had to learn how to delegate to them because I was the one that I had to wash the dishes a certain way. My towels had to be folded a certain way. The shoes had to be put up a certain way. But I had to learn how to delegate those tasks to them. And if they don't put the towels up the way that I have them put them up, it's okay. That's not a priority because they're going to snatch the towel down anyway and use it. So that, you just X that off the list. It's just things that you have to do like that. You just have to know that when you are the full-time everything, don't matter if the towel edges line up. It don't matter right now. So then you breathe, you prioritize, you schedule, and you delegate. So I have to tell them, look, you're going to wash the dishes today, you're going to wash the dishes tomorrow. You're going to clean the bathroom today, you're going to clean the bathroom tomorrow. And then you find time to chisel out to do what you need to do. And a lot of times that means burning the midnight oil. A lot of times that means you may not get but 2 hours of sleep that day. But that's just what you have to do. It's hard. Don't let anybody tell you that it's easy. It's not. It's hard. You have to put some grit into it, some elbow grease. You have to. But it pays off. I promise you. And another thing I say to myself is now I'm a full-time everything in this house. I was a full-time 9 to 5 or 7 to 7 for years, running their business, following protocols, following their policies. So then I had to implement those policies and protocols in my own house to suit what it is that we need to run in this house.
Got it.
So you run it like a business.
Got it. That's spot on. Thanks so much for sharing. That is like spot on. And as you're talking over there, I'm wondering as we're listening to Allison and you're talking about conquer the fear, and they're down there putting F-it. That's faith it, by the way. They're putting that down in the comments. And I know people want. Thank all of y'all who put down faith next to it, by the way, because some people might think F-it. Thank y'all for adding that on there, by the way. I mean, I know it was nothing personal, but come on. Okay, so let's go over to the one and only Allison. And as we go with Allison, we're going to find out the name of her chapter and one of the lessons that she's going to share with us. And as all you out there listening to these lessons, here's the cool thing. Pay it forward. We believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. Let me say it again. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. How can you do that? Hit the share button. hit the watch party button. Take the link, and it doesn't matter what platform you're watching this on. Go ahead and share it forward to your network and bless a little boy or a little girl or a big boy that's out there right now so they can finally be free. Isn't that what it's about? Finally free. Let's find out one of these other chapters inside of Finally Free from the one and only Allison. So Allison, tell us the name of your chapter, if you would, please, and what's one of the lessons that we, the audience, can walk away with based on your chapter?
Okay, well, listen, the title of my chapter is called Birthing My Assignment. And so in there, I have 3 things that I cover: fearless, faithful, and on fire. Let me tell you why. When I started my publishing company last year, it was one of those things where I had to walk it out and walk in faith and believe that I could do it. Why? Because I wore so many hats that the devil had me in fear, thinking that I couldn't do it, I wasn't worthy enough to do it, and I should just leave it alone. So I kept saying to myself, God didn't give me fear. So I'm going to walk this out and be fearless. And when I walk it out, I'm going to walk it out and get on fire. And so as I did that, I decided, guess what? I'm going to start my own podcast. And I had Dawn on my podcast, and it's called Authors Chat with Allison. So I continued, on being on fire and making a difference in my own life. I decided, to take back my life and to begin again, because sometimes we think that we can't begin again. And I realized when I graduated and out of college last year, I was 53 years old. And I said, you know what? Everything that I decided to do in my life, I'm going to birth my assignment and carry out my purpose in my life. And so I've been doing everything that my heart desires to do to make a difference within my life and within my family's life. And I even started a writing program called the 30-Day Write to Finish book writing program. Why? Because you have a right to finish your story. You have a right to go back and tell your part of the story and make a difference. And when you do that, you will change the life of someone else that is trying to walk the same path but don't know how to get there. So birthing my assignment is so personal to me because I'm finally free. I'm finally speaking out. 31 books I should have been spoke up, but I'm finally free now to be able to, fly. Like you said, fly, let my wings go, see where it takes me, because I'm on an assignment, I'm on fire, I'm fearless, and I'm going to make a difference no matter how I get there.
Wow, well, one, let me say congratulations, by the way. Finishing school, 53 years old, and from what I'm hearing, the best is still yet to come, baby. They ain't seen nothing yet from you. They ain't seeing nothing yet. Future is bright. Put them sunglasses on. What would you say to the persons out there and saying, wow, she's able to do all that, and I'm running around what they call the imposter syndrome, right? They're like, man, I'm faking it, but like, how is she able to do all of that stuff? Like, people think I'm doing it, but I'm not really checking the boxes like that. So I feel like I'm not fulfilling and really being finally free because I'm holding myself back. So my question is, what would you say to the person that has what they call these days the imposter syndrome? Everything looks fine, but really on the inside, they don't have that confidence, they don't have that fire that you have right now to truly be fearless. Doesn't mean that they're not doing things, but they know they got the potential inside and perform at a much higher level than whatever level they're performing at right now. And they can't step forward like you have because they got the imposter syndrome. So what words would you share to them to instill some confidence, allow them to step forward?
You know what? I would tell them everything that I've done or started to do in my life, I started with God. And I made sure that I made him the center of my life. And what I did was I stepped out on faith, and I even stepped out scared. But even though I stepped out scared, I knew that the more that I walked this thing out and the more that I trusted God, the more that he would give me the strength to be able to carry on and to push whatever it is I believe that he gave me. Like I said, I've been writing for so long, I can see that God was directing my path, because if you really think about it, I started out writing poetry, then all of a sudden short stories, then all of a sudden just writing books and writing books, then all of a sudden I'm speaking. So I'm like aligned where I believe God has me. So you're going to have to walk it out and see where it takes you. And sometimes you're going to have to walk it out scared. And a lot of times you're going to have to walk it out alone, but you got to get out there and do it. You know, and I wanted to make sure that no matter what it was, I was going to carry out and birth my assignment that God had given to me. And I was going to make sure that I did not give up along the way. And nothing was going to stop me. So when I say I'm on fire, I'm just trying to tell you I'm on fire. I'm just ready to go.
Well, I believe you're on fire. I'm smelling smoke over here. Okay, I'm smelling the smoke over here. That's how much I know that you're on fire over there. You're making it happen. You know, I'm just curious as we're watching. You know, folks might be thinking, "Wow, she's got it all together." I mean, gee whiz, goes back to school at 53, finishes 30 books, walks in faith. I mean, gee whiz, she's this person that's maybe never had any challenges in her life. Do you mind taking 2 minutes or less, and kind of sharing maybe a time where there was a time where things didn't work out for you, and there was a challenge and there was a setback, and what did you do to bounce back from that? Otherwise, maybe there was never none in your life. Maybe things were perfect for you. If that's the case, say, Shay, things were perfect for me. But someone might be listening like, wow, has she ever been through anything? Like, what a miracle.
Well, you know, one of the things I didn't mention is that I am a licensed minister. So in saying that, I've dealt with a lot of different emotions. And one of the biggest emotional challenge that I've dealt with was self-esteem. And a lot of times people think that, you know, as ministers and preachers, you know, we have it all together, but we actually deal with a lot of the things that everyone else deals with, but I deal with it differently. You know, I see it differently, I hear it differently. And so even though that was something that I dealt with, when you look at me, you're like, self-esteem, what's going on with self-esteem? She should have that. But we all have something that we're dealing with and that we're praying in that area to get through. So one of the things that I know personally that I dealt with was self-esteem. And that's why I am an international diversity trainer on women issues, because that's where I want to help women and building up their self-esteem, getting clarity, becoming more confident, so that way they can walk out and tell their story, because they have a right to tell their story.
You know, I'm wondering, as you listen to her, LaShondria, what's going through your mind in terms of having, we call it the imposter syndrome, but she said it a little clearer, which is the self-esteem issue. And what's something that you would share to someone out there that's watching right now saying, wow, she's speaking to me? What would you say to encourage them if they have any type of self-esteem or self-confidence? And it could be for a number of reasons. Some of them are very legitimate. I understand people have been through some traumatic things in their life. What would you say to that person right now to help encourage them to have the confidence to move forward?
What I would say is, Allison, you're preaching to me about the self-esteem part. About maybe 2 years ago, I gave a presentation, and the presentation didn't go well. And I was all on fire. You know, I had started my own business. You know, I was going to be this entrepreneur and everything. And once I did that presentation, and it didn't go over well, it did something to my self-esteem. Mm-hmm. And I felt like a failure. I felt like I wasn't good enough. And it just kind of set me back to a place where I wanted to hide. You know, I didn't want to be in public anymore. This is my first time, well, my second time. I did it with Miss Sandy. I was able to do an interview with her. And so this is my second interview. So it's like I'm getting back into it. Mm-hmm. So all of this is helping me build my self-esteem back up. My thing was last year, I think it was last year, I decided that I wanted to be more transparent. And to conquer my my fears and the issues that I had, I started basically posting my pictures. I love selfies. I'm always taking selfies. I just love pictures. I love pictures. And I actually started posting them, not sharing them with my friends or whatever. I said, well, I'm gonna start posting them on Instagram, and not for likes or anything, because believe me, they didn't like it. But it was my way of getting out there and being for myself.
Well, congratulations on doing that, by the way. I mean,
I've gained weight. You
yeah.
think about all these different things that you go through. I don't look like I looked 20 years ago, and so all of that plays into your self-esteem. And
Well,
so
well,
yeah.
let me say two things. One, congratulations. I mean, first of all, you're doing a great job. I wouldn't know it's your second time, by the way. You're out here rocking and rolling. I wouldn't know you were shy. You couldn't tell me that. I'm gonna take down because you're rocking. And we come to you in just a moment. We want you to keep that same energy over there. Don't be abba-dooba-dee-ba-dabba-dooba-dabba-dee-ba now. We coming back to you in just a second. But hold there. No, I don't want Alice to think that we forgot about her, right? I want to think she can just leave us hanging, by the way. She got to finish the story. She was giving us was it the 3 F's, I think it was, right? Was it
Yes.
fearful, faith, what was the other one?
Fearful, faithful, and on fire.
Fearful, faithful, and on fire. Take a moment and tell us a little more about what you mean by on fire. Give us your view of the world.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, give us your view of the world on what does on fire mean.
Oh God, that means that I'm going to continue to walk out and I'm just going to soar and see where I go from here. At 54, I can only go up. So because I'm on fire, I'm just going to keep rising up. But I'm going to take my steps and take my time so that I'll learn as I go up. So that when I already be in position, because I'm on fire.
Ah, you're on fire. Prince is giving you heart. He says, yes. He's out there. Mavis is in the house saying, go. You're rocking and rolling. You're making it happen. This is really exciting. First of all, thanks for sharing. 54 years old. You're looking great. And as I said before, the best is still yet to come from you. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. And I believe, and I do mean this from the bottom of my heart, they ain't seen nothing from you yet. So thanks a lot for sharing your story. We certainly appreciate that. And then before we go over to the one and only who will close us out later, Carleeka, we're going to go back over to LaShondria. And she was talking to us, but you never told us your chapter because you just jumped in. You were like, I've never done this before, and I'm not used to this. And people say, wait, Shay, wait a minute. She didn't even tell us the name of her. I mean, we just asked her one question, and she was like, I'm just waiting. Put me in, coach, put me in. And so now that you've been put into the game, it's your time to shine. We want to know, you should know the question by now, which is, what is the name of your chapter, and then what is one lesson from the chapter that we, the audience, can take away from you?
Okay, so the title of my chapter is I Listened and Let Go. Unlike the others, my chapter is actually about my divorce, my marriage and my divorce, and listening to God. I didn't listen. I start off my chapter with walking you through the day I got married and hearing that voice telling me, don't do it, but me overriding that voice because, I've had bad relationships, been in bad relationships. I felt like I wasn't worthy to be married. And then I finally found someone who wanted to marry me, even though I didn't really want to marry him, but the thought of being married, overrode everything else because I wanted to feel worthy. It was all about feeling worthy. I was a single mom. I was told, you find a good man, you marry him. Somebody's willing to take care of you, help you out, you marry him. That love thing, oh, it'll pass away anyways. You don't have to worry about the whole love thing. Just marry him. And so that's what I did. And up until the moment that I got married, up until the moment I said I do, I kept hearing that little voice saying, don't do it. Just wait. And I said, no, I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to do it anyways. So I spent 11 years being in a relationship that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in. And a lot of it was because of the a lot of it was because of, just being in this relationship that was not ordained by God. I already know that. And trying to fake it, trying to stay in a relationship that, trying to be like everyone else, what you see on TV, that imposter syndrome. And by the end, it was like God said, you really have to get out of this. You need to, you're not going to move forward, and he's not going to move forward if you don't get out of it. And so I finally listened, and I was afraid. Going from a 2-income household to a 1, I was going to lose everything. By that time, I had 2 kids. I didn't know how I was going to make it. And God said, it's okay, just let go. And so I listened. I got the divorce. It took me 4 years to get a divorce. But just me letting go, it did something. I stepped out on faith. And the day I let go, I mean, things happen. Bad things happen. A lot of bad things happen. Lost my car, house, all kinds of things. But I always had a ride. I always had a place to live. My bills didn't go unpaid, so I knew then that it was something I was supposed to do. And I did hear from a lot of people who said, oh, karma is going to get you, why you doing this? You're being selfish and everything. But I listened, I let go. Here I am 5 years later, and I have more now than I had then.
Wow.
And it's not about things, but it's all about the peace of mind, too, that came along with just letting go.
Right, and you're now finally free. Someone do me a favor, look right below the video and just put hashtag.
My 46th birthday, and the week before, 7 days before my 46th birthday, the judge signed the papers, my divorce papers. I was finally free. My thing was 46 and free.
Well, all right, 46 and free. Congratulations to you. For those folks out there, like Pamela's out there, they're saying hallelujah, faith, finally free. Keep going. Do me a favor, look right below the video. Just put finally free. Kim McKinney, we see you out there as well. Do me a favor, and I'm going to go over to the one and only Ketrice, and I'm gonna ask her, when you hear that, I'm not good enough. It rings true for a number of folks, and don't worry, we're going to come back to you, LaShondra. But talk a moment to the person, take a minute or two if you would, and address that I'm not good enough for whatever reason is. I'm not tall enough, I'm not short enough, I'm not fat enough, I'm not skinny enough, I don't have the goods, whatever it is. Take a moment and talk to the persons out there that has to be free, but they feel like I'm just not good enough.
That's one of the limiting beliefs that a lot of us have. And I say us because I've been a victim of that as well. You just feel like, you see people and they've got it all together, and I didn't come from that side of the tracks, or like you said, I'm not small enough, or I'm not big enough, or I'm not cute enough, or I'm not bright enough, or I'm not dark enough. Let me just say that you are enough in the skin that you are in. Why can I say that so resolutely? Because God preordained for you to be in this skin from the foundation of the world. He did not make a mistake with you. He did not just out of some haphazardly way say, well, I'm just going to form her, or I'm just going to form him and drop him down in the earth realm, or drop her down in the earth realm and just let him walk around like a zombie. He did not haphazardly form you that way. He fashioned you in your mother's womb. He knew you from the foundation of the world. We all have purpose. So we have to stop with that limiting mindset, with those that says, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I can't do that. I don't have enough money. I don't have the resources. You have everything that person that's doing it, you have it too.
You have it too.
Surround yourself with the people that are doing what you want to do. You need to surround yourself with the people who are walking in the purpose that you want. You cannot run around with the chicken if you want to soar like an eagle, if I can say that.
No, I got it.
Chicken.
Perfect. So,
but when you want to fly like an eagle, you can't stay on the ground with the chicken.
That's right.
Perfect.
You have to know that you are enough in the skin that God puts you in. And stop looking and comparing yourself to other people and rock what he gave you.
Right. So,
it's enough out here for all of us. We all have that special thing, that special gift, that special talent that he only gave us. Utilize what he gave you. Use what you have. And you'll realize that, yes, I am enough. I may not do it like LaShondra. I may not do it like, but I can sure do it like Ketrice, and they can't do it like me.
well, that is said so well. So you know now that you out there, you are enough. Do me a favor, look right below the video and put hashtag I am enough. You're finally free. Just put I am enough. And if you know that now is your time, that this is your moment, that this is your year, just drop a number 1 down. You ain't got to put, just put number 1 right below the comments. Now is the time. This is your time. You're finally free.
Yes.
Going back over to you, LaShondria, take a moment if you would. Now walk us through the power of being finally free and what that means to you.
To me, being finally free means I can start all over again. You know, like I'm not bound to whatever happened in the past. And I think when I first got the divorce, when I got my separation, like I said, it took over 4 years to get the divorce. I thought that, I was tied to all of that, everything that happened. I'm a divorcee, or I'm separated, and then I had to explain what all that meant. And then finally, and I think it was right before I actually, a couple of months before the papers were signed, is when I actually started feeling free. All that time I was thinking about, when am I going to get a divorce? It's not happening. Nothing's happening. It's taking too long and everything. And then in my mind, when I finally said in my mind that, you know what, I'm free. I'm okay. It's time for me to move on. I can't keep holding on to when is he going to sign the papers? When is this going to be done? That I needed to move on with my life. And it was like when I decided that, this peace came over me and I knew I was finally free. Like I had started over again.
Well, congratulations to you. Finally free. They're dropping number 1 right below. They're saying, I am enough. So true, boy. You've stirred a fire. Thank you, for sharing your chapter. Thank you for being a part of this. And thank you for sharing your story. You did good. I'm glad we were number 2 because it's going to be hard to follow us. It's hard. You have many more shows to interview, by the way. Many more time to talk. You did really, really well. No one would ever know. No one ever know. And I got your name right just for you, okay? Come on, somebody. Holla at your boy over here. Okay, now we got to go over to the one and only Carleeka, who's sitting back there. She's been smiling, getting herself ready, let me change this, and let me change that. And no, now it's her turn to tell us what's the name of her chapter. She's had some time to get this ready, so she knows. And what's one of the lessons that we could take from your chapter in this book, Finally Free?
Okay, so the name of my chapter is Sick, Silent, and Stuck. And you're probably thinking, what? But think about a moment even in your own life that you were sick. I was sick with an eating disorder years ago. And so that was my sick part, but it went even deeper than that, but you need to get the book when it comes out. And so from sick, silent, I was silent because I was stuck in a box of perfectionism. How many of us can relate to waiting on that perfect moment, waiting on that perfect man that don't exist, waiting on that time that's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it now, I'm gonna do it. No. So then you were silent. And so for me, that perfectionism, it may be procrastination, whatever that is for you. Think about what's keeping you silent from opening your mouth, from sharing your story, from showing up, standing up, and showing out. And then that third piece, stuck. How many of us have ever felt stuck? So think about sitting in a car, and I want you to think about what is that dream car that you have on your mind that you're like, ooh, when I get all the revenue, when I get all the funds, all the coins, I'm getting that car. But think about it. If you're sitting in that driver's seat, and this is where we become stuck. If you're in park in your favorite car, where are you going? Nowhere. If you're in neutral, meaning you're waiting on someone else to maybe have to push you, give you that nudge, that's okay. But then some of us are in reverse. We keep going back, picking up the same habit, doing the same thing every single year, expecting some different results. So that's why in the beginning I said, put the pedal to the metal. Why? Because you need to get in the car and you need to drive. So that's where I get sick, silent, and stuck. So I'm no longer sick. I'm no longer silent for sure. I refuse to be quiet. You can't shut me up. And I refuse to be stuck. Why? Because I'm finally free.
Come on, girl.
Yes. Yes.
Because you're finally free. They love it. They love it. They love it. Now, as you're out there and you're saying that right now, take a moment and give us maybe 2 or 3 steps for somebody that needs to get their goals in order so they can actually take off. So they're listening and they say, okay, what's the first thing I should do if I finally want to put the pedal to the metal and make sure their GPS is tuned in? So share maybe 1 or 2 of your goal setting and goal achieving ideas that you use.
Well, number one, you need clarity.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we have too much fog going on, and so that's when we become overwhelmed, we become frustrated. And when I say frustrated, I'm talking about those internal frustrations, those that no one can see. This is all inside, and so you're screaming on in the inside because you're like, there's more to me than this. So number one is going to be clarity. Do you lack clarity? Do you have clarity of where you are, but knowing where you want to go? And number 2, take action. Some of us, a lot of us are believers, and so we've been writing the vision and making it plain for umpteen years, right? Quit writing the same vision and actually take some action steps to get it done. Faith without work is dead, so you're believing, but you're not working. So yeah, take action. So clarity and take action. Shay, if I could sum it up, even with the titles of everyone's book, chapter. So we have take flight. So we'll start with LaShondria. Listen and let go. Some of us need to listen. We need to be obedient, and we need to let go of some things and some people. Then why? Because you're on an assignment. How do you plan on getting your assignment done and being on fire and take flight if you're sick, silent, and stuck? So what are you going to do? That's our question for you tonight.
That's
what
it.
action step are you going to take after take flight?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. What actions are you going to take right now to take your flight? I love it. And there you have finally free. They're finally free for everyone that's out there watching right now. Not only do I want you to put finally free, hashtag finally free right below, but hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. Like, pay this message forward to your network. Don't hold it to you. How do you give a digital applause? How do you give a digital applause? Hit the share button. They're not asking for any Cash App payments tonight. There's no Zelly payments that are necessary. This is all about serve plus add value. That's all they're doing. They're just serving plus add value. And so go ahead and hit the share button. That's how you can serve someone else and really pay this message forward. You know, we're moving to a segment now called Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that know what I'm about to do, today is my January 1st. You can go ahead and write those words right below the video. Today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st for those folks that are hearing it for the very first time. Today is my January 1st represents one of those days that you don't wait for the calendar to say today is my January 1st. You create a January 1st moment every single day. And there's probably 1,000 moments throughout the day. And any one of those moments can change the trajectory of your life. That's a January 1st moment. I was sharing with them earlier, you decide you're gonna eat hamburgers and french fries, salt, pepper, ketchup. If you're like my sons, gotta have some hot sauce, right? Or you decide you're gonna open up the refrigerator and grab some kale. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Grab some Brussels sprouts. I know it gets better, it gets better. Grab some broccoli. That's a January 1st moment. Or you decide during this time of pandemic, you're gonna work out. First moment. Or you're going to sit back and binge watch and watch Netflix. And so my question to each of these is I'm going to go around. Don't worry. I'm going to start with Ketrice first. Ketrice first. Did I get it right? Yeah, Ketrice first. I'm going to start with her first. And I'm going to ask her, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What does it mean to you? Because it's a do-over. It's a fresh start. The past no longer equals the future. Over to you. What does it mean to you?
Just like you said, I'm not defined by my past. Today is my January 1st. I'm looking forward to the things that God has ahead of for me. I'm not looking back. And if I do look back, it's only to reminisce on where he brought me from. So yeah, today is my January 1st. I'm not going backwards. I'm only moving forwards. And I'm bringing someone along the ride with me. Because it's not just about me. My January 1st is just not about me. The resolution that I make on January 1 is not just about me. It's for those that have to travel behind me. It's for my children. It's for my grandchildren. It's for my cousins. It's for my nieces. It's for my nephews. It's for me to bring somebody along with me. So I'm not looking back on my past. I'm not wallowing in the things that, that the past, like, well, this happened to me and that happened to me. And that's why I can't do this. And that's why I can't do that. No, those things happened to me, and that is why I'm doing what I am doing on my January 1. Because those things happened, I am doing what I am doing now. Had those things not happened to me, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be the woman that I am. I wouldn't be structured the way I am.
Right.
I wouldn't be built the way I am. I wouldn't be rooted and grounded the way I am if those things had not happened to me. So I'm pressing forward towards the mark of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus, and I'm bringing as many people along with me as I can.
So
that is my January 1.
So
yes, let's get it.
So today is your January 1st. I love it. We're going to go to Allison, then we're going to go over to LaShondria, and then we're going to go over to Carleeka. So take a minute or two and tell us, today is my January 1st. What does it mean to you? They're writing right below the video. I mean, Robin put today as my January 1st. Sheila put today as my January 1st. Kimma McKinney put today as my January 1st. Hey, what's up? Valerie's out there putting today as my January 1st. Mavis is putting today as my January 1st. This is so true. So take a moment, take a minute or two and tell us, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What goes through your mind?
So let me say this. At the end of my Facebook Live at 5 on Mondays, at the end of my segment, I always say this: your purpose still stands regardless of your past. That means no matter what you've gone through, God still have a purpose and a plan for your life. All is not lost, and you were not you were not put here on just to be here. God has a purpose for your life. So this is like my January 1st. Your purpose still stands regardless of your past. You just have to walk it out and see what it is that God has for you.
Said so well. Thanks a lot. Said so well. LaShondra, did I get that right? What is your, I did. LaShondria. That's right. LaShondria. When you hear today is your January 1st, what goes through your mind?
My January 1st, just staying present. Staying present, staying in here, not thinking about what the future holds, not thinking about what the past was, not thinking about, I call it my shoulda, woulda, coulda, what I could have done then, but just staying present, because it seems like when I'm present, it's more peaceful. That's when I find peace, and just staying present and trusting God to lead me. Just like I said, I listen and let go, and that's how I've been living. Just taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, listening to God and actually following through on what He says, but just staying present.
Yes. Just staying present. Today is my January 1st. I love it. One of my favorite sayings. All right, over to you, Carleeka.
Okay, so today is my January 1st to maximize my moment. A lot of times we're not maximizing the moment. So in your January 1st, what are you going to do to maximize that? I'm going to get my thinking right. I'm going to get my talking right so that my actions are right. So now that I can change the trajectory of my life. So once again, maximize your moment.
Maximize your moment. Now, you probably all heard this phrase, and sometimes there's truth. And Dawn, I'm letting Dawn just kind of eavesdrop in on our conversation, by the way. She can just eavesdrop in. She's the founder of Foundly Free, by the way. We'll let her say some closing comments a little later on, and she's listening to Today is my January 1st. But I'm curious, you ladies have probably heard this before, and it's so true, that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? They struggle with consistency. So yeah, they're excited about today as my January 1st, just like they were back on December 31st, after a couple of drinks on the back of a napkin. They would write down those New Year's resolutions, and we know how that landed for some of them, right? So I want you to take 60 seconds or less. The audience likes less more than the 60 seconds. And tell us, when you hear consistency is the key, what's one way that you're able to stay consistent? Because they've got to hashtag stay the course. They've got to do this. So we'll go back in reverse order. We'll first go to Carleeka. Did I get that right? Yeah, Carleeka. I got these names. I got it written down. We'll go to you first, and then we'll go back around so y'all know which way we're coming. Take it away in 60 seconds or less.
Consistency. So with that, I love what you said, Shay, that we write those things down, those resolutions. So that's why I don't do resolutions. I do goals and I take action.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, consistency being key, focus. I have to focus. Shift your focus and stay the course, stay on it.
Lysandria, you know what's next is your turn now. Consistency.
Yeah, it's my turn. Well, consistency was actually my word for the year. I always choose words for the year. And so that was my January 1st, consistency. And that just meant staying focused. And whatever I set out to do, I had to hold myself accountable to do it. Even when I didn't want to do it. And even when I don't want to do it now, saying that I am accountable for it. You said you wanted consistency. This is what you have to do. So that's mine.
Love it. Allison, what's going on? What's going through your mind, by the way? And those folks that are sharing what it means to them in the comments, we appreciate it. We're tuned in right now. Don't worry. The ladies that are here, they'll be able to go back and look at the comments below, by the way. They're tuned in with you right now. They're here. They're present. But we appreciate every one of your comments. We appreciate every one of you hitting the share button. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for blessing someone else out there. That's what it's all about. They're not here for themselves. Yeah, they're finally free, but they're not here for themselves. They're here to set someone else free. And isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day? How can we make a difference for someone else in the world? Yeah, that's what they're doing. Okay, over to the one and only Allison. Talk to us.
Consistency is the key. And when you get consistency, you'll start getting clarity. But in order to get clarity, you have to stay focused long enough to hear what God is saying to you. So consistency, clarity, focus, and listening for what God has to say to you.
Listening to what God has to say for you. I love how you did that, by the way. That's pretty cool. All right, Ketrice, talk to us.
Yes, consistency is key. And the key for me with that consistency thing is I have to have an accountability partner. Some of us just have to have them. So then if you're like me and you kind of, veer off, you're like, girl, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do this. And then you find yourself falling off a little bit. Then you better grab yourself an accountability partner, someone that's going to be like a lieutenant, a soldier. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about some little wimp. So for me, that was obtaining a life coach. That was obtaining a life coach, somebody that could keep me on a consistent path. Because my mind is like, whoo, I got things going on, and I'm like, everywhere. So then you get you an accountability partner, someone that will, hey, put your feet to the fire. If you can't keep your own feet to the fire, and this is, girl, this is what you got to do. This is how you going to do it, and this is what we going to accomplish today, next week, next month. You get those goals, you break them down into micro goals, and you stay the course. But some of us got to have those accountability partners, and I be one of those. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So then, mine is getting an accountability partner.
I love it.
If you can't hold your own to the fire.
I love it.
Yes, consistency is key.
I love it. Take a moment if you can before we move to rapid fire section. Take a moment and share with folks how can they best connect with you. I'll give each of you 30 seconds or less to kind of tell us how can the folks that are watching right now stay in this conversation over and beyond. And we go to Dawn, we'll talk about Finally Free. I'll let her do that at the very end. But take a moment and talk to them about how they can best connect with you. So we'll go back in the order we just started. So we went around the clock and then we go right back so you guys, ladies, kind of get the order we're in. And we'll start with you, Ketrice. Talk to us. Ketrice.
There you go.
Ketrice. I'm working on it, but I'm close. An hour later. How can they best connect with you?
You can reach out to me. I have a personal Facebook page, which is just Ketrice Keys. I also have Ketrice Keys Enterprises, and that website is ketricekeys.com. If you want to reach me by email, my email is ketrice@ketricekeys.com. If you want to get with me on Instagram, it is Ketrice Keys 2000. I am also on Twitter, and that's just @Ketrice Keys. So any of those platforms, you can reach out to me and get in touch with me.
Fantastic. And we'll give each of you an opportunity to take 30 seconds and tell them what's the best way for them to connect with you, because they're going to Google you. They're already doing that. They're going to find you anyway. So when you get a chance, just let them know, hey, here's the best way to connect with me, and they'll find you on all the platforms. Trust me. Okay, let's go around. Who's next? I lost track. Allison. How can they best connect
So
with you?
I have a Facebook page, Allison G. Daniels, or either you can, like you said, you can Google me, or I have a website page, and it's AGD Publishing or AllisonGDaniels.com.
Love it. Thanks so much for sharing. Appreciate that. LaShondria, talk to us.
The best way to get in touch with me, you can LaShondria B on Facebook, or the Research Diva on Twitter, or Mississippi Thriving on Instagram.
Mississippi Thriving. That's pretty interesting. Huh? I gotta go find it on Instagram. I don't have time to ask you why you picked that one. That's interesting. Okay, but I like it. I gotta see this Mississippi. Y'all show us anyway. Let me stop. Okay, Carleeka, tell us how can they best connect with you?
You all can connect with me because that's what it's about: connecting, building relationships to form partnerships. You're not going to find anyone else with my name, Carleeka Basnight-Menendez. Just go find it.
You ain't gonna have time to find out. I love that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask. We're moving to a rapid fire segment for all you out there. You're really in for a treat because now I get to ask them the questions. One of my favorite. They're all my favorite, by the way. But this one's really my favorite because we get to ask them what's one of the lessons that they've learned from one of their mentors through this whole journey of life. And they've had so many mentors along this journey of life. But what's one of the lessons they've learned that they want to share with you? Now, here's the cool part. They're going to package all that in 60 seconds or less. And that's pretty cool. So you won't hear the history of the whole thing. You'll just hear, here's the lesson I learned from my mentor, and here's why it's important to you. Let me frame it again so they hear it. Here's the lesson from my mentor, and here's what you can take away from that. And you, the audience, you out there right now, you can lean forward. Y'all all lean forward now, all the audience, and do like this with your hands because they're about to bless you. They're about to give you the best they have. Like, this is the moment you've been waiting for, the lesson from their mentor. Isn't that so cool? I love this part. Okay, so we'll go the way we started so no one gets like, oh, when do I go? No worries. We'll start with the one and only Ketrice, and she'll start off and talk to us about her number one mentor and the lesson she learned. Take it away.
Wow. The lesson that I would have to say that I've learned in all of this is that there's greatness on the inside of me. And I want to share that with the audience tonight. Someone may be listening and you may be thinking that, there is no greatness on the inside of you. There is greatness on the inside of you. God purposed you with greatness. And like I said before, you don't compare yourself to the greatness that you see in someone else. We all have that greatness that God only gave us. There's only there's that thing, that one thing that God purposed, that he put in the inside of you, that he didn't give anybody else. That's your greatness. You need to tap into it. You need to get in the face of the purpose giver and let him teach you what that thing is that he gave you, that he packaged you with, that he didn't package anybody else with. And when you find out from the purpose giver what that thing is that he packaged within you, then you put your feet to the fire and you give the world everything that he gave you to give them. Because this journey is not just about you. This journey is about everybody else that you will connect to, that you will help discover their purpose. And then they will help somebody else discover their purpose.
Got it.
So you have greatness on the inside of you. Never let anyone snuff that out of you. I don't care what you've come through. I don't care what you're in right now. I don't care what you may go through. You do not let anybody snuff out that thing that God has packaged within you. If you want to keep that fire burning, you got to stay away from fire extinguishers, okay?
Said so well.
So
Thank you.
You don't let anybody snuff out what God has packaged within you. That greatness, baby, is yours. You put your feet to the fire, you figure out what it is, and you give it to the world.
Said so well. Thank you so much. Share with us your number one idea you learned from your mentor and how the lesson that we can take away from them. All right, Allison.
Okay, so what I learned from my mentor was to focus on whatever it is that you know that you have been called to do. Like we can wear so many hats, but there's one thing that you know that you were called to do, or you felt that you were called to do it. Stick that out and focus in on that. So learning how to focus on one thing that your mentor has told you to do, and then rock that and carry that out.
Yeah.
Rock that and carry that out. I love that. I love it. I love it. All right, LaShondria, talk to us.
You're worthy. That's it. That you are worthy.
Yeah.
You know, and don't let anyone else tell you that you're not worthy. And don't you tell yourself that you're not worthy.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes we tell ourselves
Mhm.
that you know, I'm not worthy of this or that, but you are worthy. You're royalty. That's the way I put it. You're royalty.
I love it. You're
Yeah.
royalty. You're worthy. I feel it. I feel it. I feel you right here. I can feel it. Okay, Carleeka.
I would definitely say show up, stand up, speak up. Let me say that again. That's the triple S. Show up, stand up, and speak up. Number one, you got to show up for yourself. And when you show up for yourself, then that's when you're able to show up for anything and anyone else.
I love it. Dawn, as you're listening in over here, you've been able to step back. You're the visionary of this Family Free, but it's only possible because of folks that are able to be a part of a tribe, to be a part of a movement, to contribute their stories. As you're listening, what's kind of going through your mind as you're hearing them kind of share the stories that not only have they written, but they're sharing it with the audience right now?
This Shay has been the most amazing thing, I believe, out of any projects or any type of things I've done. This has just been the most amazing experience. You know, look at these 4 authors here, and y'all have heard them. They are so full of fire. This is it. Now, y'all, there's 14 more. There's 14 more. So this book is just going to be absolutely amazing. But just listening to all of these stories and these takeaways, that was the whole vision for the book, is that, yes, you know, we write in anthologies and we do chapters, and of course we want to tell our story, but my whole vision was not just telling our story, but giving something to the reader to take away so that they understand how they can also make the changes or follow the direction or follow the path to make a change themselves. In, you know, just to change. And, you know, sometimes you read one sentence or you hear one statement or one sentence that changes the entire trajectory of your life. I know that I have, and changed everything. And so that's the vision for this book. These folks in this book have so much to say and so much to offer. I'm just in awe of every single one of them. It's like every single author that has come and said, hey, I want to be part of this, I feel is just God sent. Every single author in this book. This is just, it's been an amazing experience. I couldn't be more proud, and I couldn't be more happy.
Yeah.
Just
amazing. Take a moment, if you will. I mean, you and I've had opportunity to have a number of private conversations, but take a moment, if you will, and kind of talk about this whole expanding your comfort zone. And for folks out there that are listening and that they're hearing this and they're getting encouraged, but they're going to have to expand their comfort zone, which by definition means they're uncomfortable, right? That's by definition. I didn't make that up. That's by definition, they're uncomfortable. So take a moment just to talk about what it means to expand your comfort zone and why it's important to continue to do that.
I mean, just you, most everything that is new to you, or that is personal to you, something like telling your story. I mean, that is really a transparent thing. It's something that maybe we feel we're not necessarily should share with the world. But I'm going to tell you, it's your story. It's yours to share. It's not yours to keep. What you have gone through and your different experiences are your gift to give to the next person that needs to hear your story. It's just, I'm trying to put it into words. It's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. Just like anything else that's new to you, it's going to be scary. And again, like he said, you have to walk through that fear in anything that you do. And the biggest part about telling your story is that if it is something, of course, it's your story. It may be something that you need to, like LaShondria said, you need to let go of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the healing process. Getting it out there, telling your story to a friend or even keeping it to yourself is one thing because you lived through it. But when you put it out there on paper, in a book, to the world, you're letting it go. You're releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're releasing it. And yeah, it's going to be scary. And it's not easy. But it's so worth it. So worth it.
I like it. It's not easy, but it's possible. That's the good news, that it's possible. If someone else has done it, so can you. That's so encouraging, right? It's so encouraging. I'm encouraged. I'm inspired to be finally free. The good news is a few good guys like me hang out with them. Isn't that so cool, man? Isn't that great? We all can create this breakthrough together. So as we come down the home stretch, here's what we're going to do. We're going to allow each of them to have 60 seconds to kind of close us out, to share their final thoughts, their final comments, to empower you, to inspire you, to encourage you over and beyond this conversation. Yeah, when we get to Dawn, who will go last, we'll ask her how to connect with the book and so forth, and make sure you all can get that. But I'm going to ask them to go around and to share their final thoughts. And you, as you're tuning in right now, if you haven't hit the share button, hit it now. Okay, just go and hit the share button and pay it forward. If you hit it again. Some of you are overachievers. Like some of you are just there. And then others of you're like overachievers. Like you shared it and you put it on LinkedIn and you put it over here. Look, it's not about me. It's not about them. It's about how can we pay it forward and how can we bless someone else out there. That's what this is all about. That's what it's about. So we're going to start off the way we started the show, and we're going to start with the one and only Ketrice. And we're going to ask her to start off and share her final thoughts, her final comments, and then we'll go in order so Allison knows and LaShondria knows, and then the last one, Carleeka knows, and then we'll close out with Dawn. But go ahead, if you would, please share your final thoughts for the audience. First, we thank you for being here on the show. We thank you for sharing your message and being authentic and sharing your words of wisdom. What do you have to say to the audience as we close this thing down and get ready to go out there and we got to execute. We got to go take action now.
So just let me thank the audience for tuning in with us tonight. Thank you, Shay, again for giving us this platform. We are greatly, appreciative of this. And my final thoughts would be to tell you to invest in yourself. You are worth investing in. We invest in so much and in so many other people's vision that we leave our own. We let our own go lacking. We sell ourselves out to our own dreams, and we invest in somebody else's dream. You are worth investing in. You are worth every dime, every second, every minute, every hour that you can find to invest in yourself. You're worth it. So that may mean you have to cut back on some things. Then you cut back on some things to invest in yourself. The next thing I like to leave with you guys is to believe in yourself. Stop believing in everybody else's dreams and leaving yours on the sideline. Stop saying once the kids get grown or once I get to this place in my life or once I make this amount of money, those once has never come. Later, but never. Believe in yourself and just start somewhere. Make a step. Then you have to align yourself with people who are where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
You have to enlarge your circle. If you look around your circle and you're the smartest one in your circle, you don't have a circle, baby. You got a cage and you need to break out. You have got to
Align yourself with people who are smarter than you, who are where you want to go. You can get there. And then you have to cut off negativity. You cannot hang around negative people and you want to exude positive vibes. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have to align yourself with positive people who are doing positive things, who are making differences in people's lives. These are who you have to align yourself with. Baby, that means you may lose someone along the way. That was not your set of people anyway.
Got it.
Okay? Don't feel guilty about that. If you don't want to elevate, then I can't relate. Okay? Because it's time for us to grow and go up. Okay?
So well
I
said.
just want to help you right there. You can't take everybody with you on this journey. And if you want to come along and learn with me, we can do that. But I'm not bringing dead weight, baby. I can't elevate with dead weight attached to me. I want to leave you with that. And I say that with love. I really mean that.
I believe you, by the way.
You just can't grow that. I really mean that. So you and another thing I just love this is if you want to continue to have a fire that burns within you, you gotta stay away from fire extinguishers. Okay.
Okay.
You gotta stay away from them because they'll put your fire out. And what will happen is they will pass you by, and you will still be stuck where you are. So you have to do those things. You have to. You know, it's something that we don't like to put ourselves first. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Put yourself first. Invest in yourself. So then you'll have something to give to other people. Because you're empty, baby. You can't give anything. So that's what I like to leave with the audience on tonight. And I love y'all.
Thank you so much. Allison.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to the audience. Thank you for listening. The final thought I want to leave with you is this is your season. It's time for you to get in position so that you can carry out your purpose. So your season is now. It's time for you to begin now. When I said I'm finally free, that means that I'm finally free to get in position to carry out my purpose in life.
Finally free to carry out your purpose. I love it. LaShondria.
So thank you all for tuning in. My final thoughts is just trust God. Allow him to lead you. You know, if he tells you to take that lead, believe me, he's going to catch you. He's there with you. You know, I thought it was hard. I thought I was going to fall. You know, I thought I was going to fail. But he didn't let me fail. So just take that leap. Do it. I said yes to Dawn. I'm here. I did it.
You did it with some fire too. All right, great job. You had some fire tonight. You tell someone I don't talk too often. You did a pretty good job. Okay. You'll go back and hear this. You're gonna be like, I was okay, Shay. You were. Trust me. Okay. And now over to you, Carleeka. Final thoughts.
Okay, so 60 seconds or less. Here we go, y'all. This is it. When you change your perspective, you will change your life. You want different results, you got to do some different things.
I love it.
Get it.
That's it.
I love it. Change your thoughts. I love it. I love it. I love it. Change your thoughts. You'll change your life. All right, Don, bring us down the home stretch. Tell us once again the book, where they can connect with the book, and then give us your final thoughts if you would.
All right, the book is finally free. We will be launching the book January 21st. You can connect with me at Dawn Lieck on Facebook. That would probably be best. We will be, all of us will be launching this out very shortly, probably doing some pre-sales on the book. But just connect with any one of us, and the book will be out in January 21st. And so my closing on what I would just really like to say, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds or less. Continue to show up and you will not be denied. That's my closing.
Continue to show up and you will not be denied. I love it. With that being said, for everyone that's out there, by the way, do us a favor. You now are finally free. Look right below the video, and I want you to notice as we close out, you're amazing. You're incredible. You've got so much greatness inside you. And for you, the best is still yet to come because you're finally free. For you, today is your January 1st because you're finally free. And for you, I know with 100% confidence, the road is bright and they ain't seen nothing from you yet. With that being said, for those folks out there watching, I know who's doing all that screaming, who's doing all that yelling. My name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in the moment and you got to make it count. God bless and we wish you success. Say goodbye, everyone. Peace, everyone. We out of here. Great show. We'll see y'all again soon. Hit the share button. We love you. Right below the video, finally free. We out of here. Peace.
Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Thank you. God bless.